This is a series about how to have good conflict with your partner or how to fight right. We've talked in the past about how important it can be to have a timeout. If you're fighting with your partner and you feel really overwhelmed or flooded, you're feeling really emotional, you can't focus, you start to hear your voice getting louder, it's probably a good idea to take a timeout, to officially ask, say, I need a timeout. Let's come back in half an hour or an hour and talk about this, but you always want to designate a time that you're going to come back and speak so things aren't just swept under the rug and get worse and worse. But I want to also talk about what does that look like to have a timeout. So usually you need at least 20 minutes to calm down, but some people might need more. You might need several hours. You might need to sleep on it and, have your timeout take you into the next day, as long as it's less than 24 hours. You also want to get out of the visual space of your partner. So if you're in a room together, it's probably a good idea for you to take your time out in another room. You may even need to leave the house as long as you've agreed upon a time to come back and talk about it. Hopefully your partner doesn't feel abandoned. And it's a good idea to do things during your timeout that take your mind off of what's going on. Sensory experiences can be really good. So maybe you take a hot bath, or you go outside and you listen to the birds chirping, or maybe you read a book or listen to a podcast. Things that are really active like that and take your mind to a different place are great for helping you decompress. You might also try meditating or lying down and doing some deep breathing. Some people even like to do housework or gardening. It doesn't necessarily matter what the activity is, but just something that takes you out of the space and out of the mindset of feeling attacked and overwhelmed can help you feel less flooded. And then once your nervous system has calmed down, it'll be a lot easier for you to come back and have a good conversation and have positive conflict with your partner. Timeouts are a hugely important part of being able to have good conflict. Some people feel like you just have to duke it out until it gets better. But the truth is once you're flooded and the cortisol and the norepinephrine and everything in your brain is just telling you you're not safe, it's not okay, then it's very unlikely you're ever going to have good conflict. You're probably going to have a fight, you're going to feel hurt, and you're not going to want to address the issue or even be around your partner. So it's better instead to take the break, communicate it, agree on a time to come back, and then be able to speak to each other in a more loving way. This is hard. Some people will feel like you're abandoning them if you don't let them know when you're going to come back and talk about the things that you've been fighting about. But if it's agreed upon, then it can feel safe and it can feel expected to your partner. This is a struggle, though, for a lot of people. And so if you are struggling to try to communicate with your partner and you want to take a break, you want to do a timeout, and your partner keeps coming at you, you need to insist on having that timeout and just say, it's really important for me to have the timeout, and I'm happy to talk about this once we're done with the timeout. If even after trying to have timeouts, you and your partners seem to continue to keep fighting and have these really unfortunate conflicts with each other, it's probably a good idea then to call a couples therapist. We have people who specialize in doing couples work at Wilson Counseling, and we can help you guys get to a place where you have healthier conflict that connects you instead of conflict that makes you feel unsafe, unhappy, and resentful in your relationship. So give us a call today.